Hey, what's up, guys? Real quick before I get into any other topic, just a quick update on the Back to the Future drop on VV. I did successfully get one of the two that I wanted. I got the the original hoverboard, but the Pitbull hoverboard that Griff had in Back to the Future 2, unfortunately I didn't get it. That like my freaking like the VV app literally glitched on me. Like, so here's the thing. The clock gate thing, the clock gate feature that I'm seeing everybody talk about within the Ecomi community, it kind of worked, but Pitbull hoverboard, it didn't work because for the other three, or the other four hoverboards that were out there, I had the ability to get all of them if I wanted. I didn't want those. The only ones that I wanted were the original hoverboard and the Pitbull hoverboard that Griff had. So the other ones that I had a chance at, I just passed on them, even though it was giving me the option to. I just passed on them because, again, I just personally didn't want them. But so I mean, the clock gate kind of works, but it's messed up because, like, when I tried to use it, when it was time for me, like, the buy button came up, but once it was time to get the Pitbull hoverboard, the freaking VV app refreshed. Like, I was already on the page, I'm pressing a buy button, and instead of it just updating and just saying buy like the other ones, it completely refreshed the entire page. Just, and once it refreshed, I got blocked out and it told me it was sold out. But so that sucks. I gotta look into getting like a bot or something for that. There's definitely gotta be at least one out there, because there's no way these guys are just having having internet connections that fast. There gotta be some sort of a bot that they're using, like the guys who buy like sneakers, who hack all the sneaker websites, who use like the bot, something like that. But either way, man, it's still good news. At the end of the day, I still got one of the two, so that's awesome. I was gonna go on the market tab and get the Pitbull hoverboard, but I mean, they were selling them a few hours later for like 5 times the price, and I just didn't want to pay for that. I'll see what happens. Hopefully they drop the prices back down. But I still got one of two, which I'm still happy about, because this is the first VV drop where I've actually been able to even get to the buy button, because like up until this point it's never worked. Whenever I would try the regular way, or whenever I would try the hacks that people would talk about doing online, it just wouldn't work for me. So that's still it's still progress. I still think it was a win overall, and so it all still worked out. So I'm gonna get into another topic right after this now. Guys, this is emphasis from Casual Crypto Enthusiasts, and I really am not fond of Maximalist, of any coin, but especially Bitcoin Maximalist. Like, I just don't, I'm not gonna say I don't get it, but I don't take it seriously, and it's just annoying to look at. I just don't respect that. Like, it's just silly. The reason I'm making this video, as the title says, is because a very popular guy by the name of Max Keiser has recently done an interview where he said that he basically said that Bitcoin is now perfect and no other altcoin matters, because Bitcoin is the end all be all, and they're all gonna die in 2 to 3 years. These are his words. And mind you, when he said the altcoins are gonna die in 2 to 3 years, he didn't name, meme coins like Shiba Inu or Dogecoin or Safe Moon or Safer Moon or whatever, or anything like that. He named Cardano, XRP. He even named Bitcoin Cash. Like, he named coins that actually have like serious potential and that actually have superior technology. And it's really just laughable, bro. It is truly just laughable. Mind you, I want Bitcoin to succeed. I want to see Bitcoin get to, $250,000, like $300,000. Like, I want to see it get to these higher prices, because obviously we are still in an infancy stage of this market. So because of that, the majority of the coins that are out there are going to rise with Bitcoin. So yeah, I absolutely want it to succeed. But to sit here and say that Bitcoin is the end all be all and it's the only coin that matters, it's just delusional. Like, it's just delusional, man. Like, you're talking about something that costs a lot to use, it takes a long time to execute on what it's supposed to do. Like, that's just not that's not keeping up with the current technology that's out there now. Now, the average cryptocurrency that comes out, that just comes onto the scene, is setting itself up to be faster than Bitcoin. Everybody knows Bitcoin is inefficient. And a lot of Bitcoin maximalists like to sit on this high horse where they like to act as if it's this perfect thing, but it's like, look, dude, at the end of the day, you gotta humble yourself and remember that Bitcoin failed so badly as a payment method that all the Bitcoin maximalists have rebranded it and are now saying, oh, it's a store of value. That wasn't what it was supposed to be. You're rebranding it because at the end of the day, it failed at its original purpose. It's not an efficient way to pay people. You're better off using but you're better off using a lot of the other options that are out there, whether it's Bitcoin Cash, whether it's XRP, you're better off using a lot of other cryptocurrencies. So it just doesn't make, it really doesn't make sense. And it's just, you want to know really why I don't respect it? You don't want to know why I really don't respect it? Because it's just like, it's just the ultimate level of tribalism, and don't get me wrong, we all participate in tribalism to some extent, especially if you watch sports, we all have sports teams that we like. Me, for example, my favorite football team is the Baltimore Ravens. I got an entire channel dedicated to just that one team. But at the same time, it's not that serious. And at the same time, I'm not gonna sit there and pretend that they're the perfect team, because that's just not true. But with Bitcoin maximalists, they really act as if Bitcoin is the most perfect thing that has ever existed, and that is just delusional. And then they have this very weird attitude towards everybody else, towards every other coin. You know what it reminds me of? It almost reminds me of gangbanging. I'm not a gangbanger, but what I mean is it reminds me of the way a lot of gang members act, where it's just this really intense mentality, this really intense attitude everywhere you go, where you're just yelling at everybody and yo, where you from, cuz? That same sort of energy, and it's really, really dumb, because that's really what it reminds me of. Just like how I think it's silly when you see people, fighting and feuding over what color they wear, because they're in a gang. It's the same thing with any maximalist from any coin. Yeah, we might have certain coins that we prefer, but to sit here with a straight face and say only one can exist and only one matters, that's just silly. But it really does remind me of gang. It really reminds me of how you see a lot of gangbangers act, especially how they would act in a movie, any stereotypical movie where you see them, yo, where you from, cuz? Yo, man, I'm from the proof of stake. Nah, man, I ain't with that, man. We proof of work over here, homie. We proof of work over here, homie. It's that same sort of energy. And it doesn't make the slightest bit of sense to me, because again, you don't have to choose just one. I got a video. I still haven't uploaded a video, but I have a video where I briefly talked about what coins are in my portfolio, and I have, not to brag, but I have a bunch of different coins. I have a bunch of different coins, so much so to the point where it starts to make me question myself and think to myself, dang, man, am I over diversified? It's starting to feel like I got maybe just a little bit too much. I might have to consolidate down. You don't have to choose just one. And a lot of Bitcoin maximalists act as if you have to just choose Bitcoin over everything else. And it's not just Max Keiser. It's a lot of people with this same sort of attitude. There was another guy, I forgot the guy's name, but it doesn't really matter. I was watching another interview with some guy where he was basically saying the same thing, where he was just oh, you know, I put my portfolio on Bitcoin, and everybody should have 10% of their portfolio on Bitcoin and avoid altcoins because they could all go to zero and blah blah blah. And the guy had the nerve to say, well, yeah, you know, they all could go to zero and they have no use case, they don't work. And I'm like, again, what does Bitcoin do? Bitcoin does not do anything. The thing it was meant to do as being the thing it was originally meant to do as being a peer-to-peer payment system, it failed that. It failed that so much so that Yao as a community rebranded and started calling it a store of value. Mind you, being a store of value is not impressive. I do not care what you say. For anybody listening to this, if you might be new into crypto, understand, anytime someone tells you something is a store of value, all they are saying is they don't know what else to do with it, and so they are trying to find somebody else to value it, and so they can sell it to the greater fool. Being a store of value is not impressive. Yes, there's something to that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that doesn't matter, right? Because of course we have different things, you know, different commodities like gold and silver and stuff like that. But at the same time, you gotta understand, any crypto could be a store of value. Pretty much any crypto could be a store of value. You look, and even beyond crypto, just almost anything in general could be a store of value. Like last year when people were going crazy fist fighting in Walmart and all these other convenience stores for tissue, guess what? If it had gotten any worse, and you know, and there really became like a shortage of tissue for the next several months, guess what? Tissue would have at that point become a store of value. Because what is a store of value? Again, I'm not going to get into the exact definition of it. Again, the name of this channel is Casual Crypto Enthusiast. My goal here is to, you know, sort of talk and explain a lot of things in a way that is very, you know, simplified, so the average person will understand it and not, you know, get bored. You gotta understand, when it comes to something like store of value, all they're saying is they are buying it at a certain price, and they are hoping and believing that it will maintain that price or become more expensive. That is what they're saying. And ironically, the guy in that other interview, he had the nerve to say that, oh, people are only buying these other altcoins. They're only buying these other altcoins because they're hoping that it goes up in price. It doesn't do anything. And I'm just like, you idiot. Like, that's exactly why you bought Bitcoin. Your whole store of value excuse is this based on the same thing. You're buying it because you're hoping somebody else wants to pay more for it one day. You're not buying it because there's anything really that valuable about it. You're buying it because you believe it's valuable and you want somebody else to believe it's even more valuable further down the line. That is it. You cannot call something a store of value and then pretend that you aren't buying it with the specific intention of either maintaining that value or going up in value so you could sell it to somebody else. You know, it's like these guys are just delusional, and it's just really mind-blowing. And then you'll see some of these guys say, oh, all these altcoins don't work, they don't do anything. Again, you could any one of these, again, this is all projecting, by the way. This is all, anytime you hear a Bitcoin maximalist use any of those type of arguments, it is literally them just projecting, because all of that could be said to Bitcoin. They said, I've heard people like the guy I'm referring to, like in that interview, he was just like, oh, you know, Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, with altcoins, you know, you can't do anything. You've never seen someone go in the store and pay with an altcoin. First of all, there are different places where people have gone to use altcoins, but more importantly, you can say the same thing about Bitcoin. People are going into store. Name one. The average person has never seen somebody go into any establishment and pay for anything in Bitcoin. That has never happened. Nobody sees that. That is a very rare thing that you will ever see. So yeah, this ramble went on a lot longer than I intended it for it to. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, the bigger point I'm trying to get across is being a maximalist of any coin is just unnecessary to me. And I just find it to be very unnecessary. It's very dumb. And I'm not saying you can't have a certain coin that you prefer, a certain digital asset that you fully believe in and are very bullish on. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is what separates that from what separates somebody who's just really bullish and a big believer of a certain coin from a maximalist is the attitude. A lot of people when they're maximalists of coins, they act as if that one coin is the only coin that matters and it's the only one that's gonna exist, and it like that just doesn't make sense at the end of the day. You're talking about a growing industry that has all this different technological advancement happening at such a rapid speed, and all these different projects that are aiming to take over so many different and unique niches. And you think that only one coin is gonna matter? That is silly. Now, one thing that a lot of maximalists, including Max Keiser, says that is true to an extent is when they say that a lot of altcoins are going to die. That is very likely, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of coins that they're not trying to work towards anything. They're just like grabbing people's money up. But again, there's over 10,000 coins out there. So even if you believe that to be true, even if 1 to 2% of those coins survive, that's still 1 to 200 coins more or less that are gonna still make it to the other side. And that's a lot of coins, man. That's a lot of coins. That's a lot of different projects. That's a lot of different communities of people that are investing and believing and bullish on those coins. So it's just delusional. Yeah, so let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about all of this? Do you guys think that Bitcoin maximalists are toxic and a cancer to crypto, or do you think it doesn't really matter? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And also shout out to Brad Kimes from Digital Perspectives, because one of his recent videos, he was the first person I seen who had actually talked about that interview that the guy Max Keiser had did. But let me know what your comment sections are, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and make sure you guys like and subscribe.